George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. We're pleased to be joined by Curtis Chaplin. He is the co-founder of Option Zero. There's only one option.
Yes, sir.
Option Zero. And there's sports, fitness, health, youth development, you name it, they do it all. And he's a Syracuse native who is using what he's learned from his upbringing to help develop young people, but also train in fitness, train in boxing. So good to see you, Curtis. And
Likewise.
also, we should say Curtis is in these streets.
Oh, have to be. Have to be. Have to be.
Listen,
all about the kids.
All last summer, right? You were in the streets of Syracuse in Central New York. And it's fitting that we should be talking to you now, right? Right now, the trial of Derek Chauvin, the officer who killed George Floyd in cold blood. What are you thinking about before we get into your business part? What are you thinking about right now in terms of this trial going forward and your summer of activism in the community?
Well, I will say that it's opened my eyes to a lot. I really hope that our judicial system takes care of it the way they should. But as history has shown, I'm prepared for another disappointment. You know, I really don't have too much faith in our judicial system and many of these systems that have failed us. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that if and when we do get a bad decision, it doesn't create a lot of turmoil within the communities.
No, it's interesting you say that because you're preparing, it's as if you're preparing for, if you will, another uprising in some ways.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that doesn't happen, but listen, they haven't pushed for anything to show me different.
What did you learn about yourself and the community during the summer of activism, protesting, leading marches, co-leading march, coalescing, and working with other organizations as a, I'm gonna say a young person. Are you in your 30s?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's a young person to me, and so just what did you learn through that process of working with the different groups and people trying to organize around injustice in the community?
I learned a lot. I learned, a lot of lessons. I won't say I learned anything negative. I learned a lot of lessons. But the positives, well, I'll start with the positives first, and then I'll hit with the lessons. The positives I learned that there is hope. Syracuse has roughly 150,000 people, and we can make our voices be heard as long as it's constructive and doing something in a positive manner. We don't have to go crazy and vandalize to make things happen. But I also learned that, with any and every movement, there's going to be some type of negativity. With any and every movement, there's going to be someone who doesn't like what you're doing and going to try to shoot you down on every angle they can. But, staying focused on the task is, as long as you stay focused on the task, you're going to be able to amount to whatever you need to. Our goal was 40 days of peace. And, every day there was something. Every day there was someone trying to knock us off course or off track. And it was tough, but we made it through 40 days of peace, and we were able to get a lot of our demands met within the 40 days. I think we got almost every single demand met within 40 days, and that to us was big. I wish that we could have contained it, the whole structure a little more, and pushed, probably got more change for our city. But, we're young. We were all young guys, and young men and women came together out of nowhere. And, I'm just happy to even now take the little bit of knowledge that I learned from there to now continue to pass to the youth and continue to pass to other organizations.
And just to bring people up to speed, you, along with other groups, came together and marched 40 days of marches throughout the summer, 40 days. You committed to doing that, and you did that, and you talked about always meeting obstacles. Some of those obstacles,
yes,
I'm sure,
yes,
internal, because
yes,
you're out front, but then somebody else has said, "Well, why are you out front?" Or I'm imagining that.
Oh yeah, and you're 100% right. What I did is, I'm not gonna lie, I watched the Black Panthers, and I studied the Black Panthers and their demise, and every other African American leader around that time, and I watched and I learned, okay, this is how they'll try to hit us. This is try to hit us, so that I'm always one step ahead. But you can always prepare. But you can, like they said with having a child, you can be prepared all you want, but you're never ready.
Were you ready for leadership?
I don't think that I don't know. I really don't know. I think what I will say is I handled what was placed on my table very well.
Mhm.
Um,
That's a good answer, by the
was
way.
I ready? I
Mhm.
don't know. I think I handled it very well.
Mhm. Yeah, in other words, we often the reason why I ask that is because leadership sometimes you're thrust into a situation sometimes. When I say thrust, that means you didn't volunteer to do it. In other words,
Definitely.
you're in the space needs to be filled, you're looking around, and
Yeah, it happens.
right, and now there
It
you are,
happens.
and you're thinking, oh well, why don't they, or why doesn't he, why doesn't she, and there you are,
Yep. Yep.
right, and then
Exactly how it happened.
this must be a prophetic conversation here.
That's why I'm happy, honored to be on the show. I'm taking everything in.
I don't know, but I'm just thinking that's what happened,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir.
but then it's how you deal with that, right? How do we handle when we're in that situation? Some of us wither and some of us rise, right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
and,
sir.
and there's bruises along the way, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's some bruises along the way.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
so in that, what was of all the demands, and some of them had to do with police reform, and the mayor came up with a plan and so forth and so on. Of all of them, which one are you happiest that they did, and which of the ones were you disappointed in that didn't actually happen?
Okay, I'll go with the negative first, and I want to put this out there because I don't want people to think that I'm against anything that anyone did. Um, I love that efforts were put together to make things happen, but I do not agree, and I won't say we didn't agree with the passing of the business cards from police officers when they pull you over. Them forcing them to pass out a business card isn't nothing compared to them being forced to have their cameras on 24/7. I rather people pushed for that than a business card. A business card, yeah, they already have name tags. And also, we're not trying to have a business meeting or create a personal relationship with the police officers in our community. They don't live in our community. They don't care about our community. So there's no need to build that relationship,
Let me.
in my understanding.
I was gonna say, can I push back on that a little bit?
Yes, sir. You can definitely.
Um, all right, let me hold on. Let me let you finish, and then I'm gonna
Nope.
say, why wouldn't we want to have the relationship with the people who are in the? Because isn't that part of the issue that we're facing? Is that we don't have.
But did you hear? Yep, definitely. But the officers that pull us over aren't the police officers that care about our communities. That's a big issue, and a lot of people don't know they got rid of community policing a little while ago. So these officers that are pulling us over, they don't live in our community. They don't care about our community. They're put there to do a job and want to go home. That's their focus. They don't want to build these relationships. The officers that are in our community doing that, they're put in different areas on purpose.
Mm.
So that's why I said that. And it's only because a lot of people don't understand. Hey, we want to build a relationship with the officers, but the ones who build the relationships, they're doing this on their free time. They're out of uniform. They're around the kids. They're making themselves available. They're making themselves present.
So, all right. So, what and what else are you disappointed in, or what are you happy?
That was it. That was it. I think everything went well. What amazed me the most was Cuomo with his executive order saying that by April, every police officer and not even just police officer, every police force has to have a reform done and ready. Went through with the community, youth leaders, protesters. Everyone has to come together on the reform to be passed for them to now have their budget. Did it happen? That's not my call. However, Cuomo put it out there for the community to now take part in it, and that was big. I think that was amazing.
So this begs the question: if the officers who you believe have the community's interests at heart, if you
Mhm.
believe that,
Yes, sir.
you said that those officers are not in the direct contact with the community, and you have a African American police chief,
Yep. Yep.
Where's the disconnect? Couldn't you ask the police chief that this
we
is
could
what?
try. We could try, but we all know the police chief, the mayor calls the shots, you know.
Okay.
Yes,
So
the mayor hires, fires, and calls the shots. And I've tried to sit down with him.
you tried to sit down with the mayor?
When we were an organization, we tried to sit down with
And
him.
what happened?
Police chief. It just didn't happen. And I don't think that's a personal thing. I think with so much.
Oh, all right, stand by. We'll just pause that real quick. So you said you were trying to set up a meeting, and what happened? And it didn't happen.
It was just really tough. I think it's the climate that was going on, you know, with the George Floyd and the protests. They just didn't have a lot of time, plus COVID. You know?
Guess what? Guess what? Guess who's scheduled to be here next week?
Oof.
Tell the mayor what you want right now.
You're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. Well, listen.
He's coming here next week. Tell what you want the mayor to know. What you need from the mayor. He's coming next week.
We need a new.
Come next week.
We need him, and not just the mayor. We need our politicians to speak for the people. We have 30%. Mayor, okay, he's our politician. Hey, take care of our city. We have a lot of people still in poverty. 1 in every 3 homes is still impoverished. These kids still don't have laptops. A lot of these kids are going to school. That's still not taken care of. We got over $1.9 billion that come to our city. Let's do something with it. Let's not.
So you said you were trying to get a meeting with the mayor.
Yes, sir.
As a result of the police reform issues, and you never got it. He's coming next week. What do you want him to do?
Take care of our city. I tell him.
That's what you would say to him? Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Take care of our city.
All right. All right, Curtis. I could go
on.
I could go on with you because I wanted to give you some space because I hadn't heard. And I guess the question is, now that that's done, are you retired? Are you still out here in the streets? I mean, what's going on, Curtis?
I don't want to.
Wait, Curtis, are you a one-hit wonder? Did you hang?
Nah, listen. What happened? And I don't want to say too much, but just know there will be.
Talk to me, Curtis. What's going on, man? We want to.
I got a couple
for the nation.
We got a couple of tricks up our sleeve. Listen, I will die for my city and my community. Not only is it my friends and family that's in my city, but I'm from here, so I take it serious.
Yeah.
So I will do whatever I can for my city. I did not leave. I just took some time to work on the kids. I explained, if you don't mind, I took some time away from protesting and being in the streets because during the middle of the protests, I had a kid reach out to me 2 different times. Hey, coach, can you come to the gym? I was like, not right now. I can't be at the gym. Gym open at such and such time. Called me again. Hey, coach, can I get to the gym? I was like, listen, I'll be there at 2. I know class is until 5. You can come early. By 1:30, that young man ended up being associated with a couple people who had burglarized someone, and now that kid's doing 10 years. He's only 15 years old. So I realized I have to get back to the kids. You know, I can't. I'm not saying that I'm not focused on the community because everything that I'm doing is still gonna be centered around the community. However, that little bit of time, I've been sitting back and I've been watching. I've been watching how they responded after the 40 days. I've been watching how people have been moving since the 40 days. I'm not happy about it, and definitely change is going to come. Hopefully this election. A lot of wonderful candidates are out there, so I'm hoping that we can get the city out there to vote in the right direction so that the 30% of the population can have at least 30% of the power.
So you're looking for change at the mayoral level. You feel like
every level.
You would be campaigning for someone else.
Oh yes, definitely. And it's only because I feel that the mayor of the city has to understand the city, not just the economics and the wealth and the money. You have to understand the inner city. Like, it's people starving, it's people suffering. If you don't come from that area or are not around it, you can't really relate. Yes, you can understand, but it's tough.
Who are you supporting?
I can't get that one out. It's just know there are 2 African-American candidates out there. I will say that.
Okay, and you're supporting one of them.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One of the two African-American candidates.
All right. So who are the two African-American candidates?
Oof. Oof. All right. Well, you have Mr. Kalibe and you have Mr. Rajan Mickens.
Okay.
So both are from the city. One's a little older, one's a little younger. I'm definitely going for one of them.
All right, hold on a second. So one of those candidates has your support. All right, Curtis.
Yes,
Curtis.
Yes,
What I'd like to do. Here's what I'd like to do.
Yes, sir.
I would like you and I to continue this conversation around this particular stuff.
Yeah,
but
another
with
time.
Other people your
Perfect.
age, with
Perfect.
other people, because I want to hear what is the voice of the youth right now. 40 days from last summer, and now we're into a new. We're in spring now, but I would love to ask you to get a few folks together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some of you agree with, some of you don't agree with, and let's
Yes,
have a conversation so I can really hear what the voices of the community. Can you help me with that?
No, definitely. I can. You let me know a date and time, and I'll make it happen.
All right, we're gonna set that up right after this. Now,
yes, sir.
Let's talk about option zero, because this is your calling, right? It's
yes, sir.
youth
Yes, sir.
development, it's boxing, it's fitness, it's it's all of the above. Tell me about option zero and what that means to you.
And option zero is a way of life. In the inner cities, sports is our way out. It's either sports or drugs. And along with myself and a couple of college friends, we played college football, and we were we had better talent than the people who were higher than us on the depth chart. But there was something extra that they had that we did, rather it be grades, money, their parents being part of the booster community, just different things. So they, we're like, listen, we got to make sure we give our kids and everyone else, when we come back to the communities, we got to make sure everyone's on point. We can't keep doing this. We got athletes that are exceptional, but then they're going to school and coming back, they're sad because they're not fitting in. Also, we realized, in our cities, we're not given the option. You're gonna play this sport, you're gonna do this for us, and then boom, you're gone. They're not pushing our kids to college. And when they are pushing their kids to college, they're not putting them in the position to be successful in college. I just was talking to a teacher at my old high school. He said, and it hurt me. He is like, I don't think we've had one African-American graduate from Fowler and African-American male. Not too many have graduated from Fowler and graduated college. And I thought about that. Like, that's sad. But these are the things that are going on. These kids, now mind you, guys are exceptional athletes, but when they're going to college, you're not ready. So our goal at Option Zero is to make sure that when these kids come in these doors, they're getting holistic training. They're getting physical. So we have a personal trainer in our boxing program. They're getting the mental. I have a couple tutors who are coming down from SU and the Syracuse City School District to help mentor these kids. And then I have my really good friend, Tyrone Dixon, and who is also vice president of my board, as well as Manila Salkmabong, to give them that emotional fitness that they need. So therefore, you're hitting every element. But within this program, for my teens, I've added another twist to it. I want to teach them financial literacy. I want to teach them how to manage their time. We want to teach them how to be able to make money, in a positive manner. I'm trying to set them up so that if college isn't the route for them, they're learning these trades at a young age. They're trades right now, they're making 20 or more an hour. These are things that we as a community know nothing about till it's too late. So we want to give back to them before, as an option, and create superb student athletes.
So in your programs, obviously your fitness business. So you do boxing, you do what other what other?
So we have Saran, who runs Humble Fit, Saran Miller, Mr. Humble Fit. And we work hand in hand. So I'll take the kids, we'll run through a course of boxing drills. Then right after he sets up a circuit of, workouts that are going to help them get them stronger. And then we do a little bit of conditioning, cardio. But everything we're doing is mixed in with a lot of fun, a lot of energy. Kids leave drained, but they're begging their parents to come back. Hey, coach, when I practice another day.
Mostly
You
kids, mostly
know?
adults?
It's a mix. Now I had an adult class. My adult class was ran by the kids ran them out. It was an adults class. Now I have 12 kids in that class, to where I now have to have a separate class just for adults. But from the ages of 4 through 12, I may have anywhere between 60 and 70 kids right now.
Wonderful.
And this is during COVID. So it's tough, but we're building.
You know, one of the things you say about your background is that your upbringing and both
Yes, sir.
your parents both were incarcerated at one time.
Yes, sir.
And why did you want that story to be out there?
Because I wanted kids to know that I'm a product of this community. Granted, I was adopted by a very influential church family, but my family is from the streets. I had to break a lot of generational curses to get to where I'm at. And I wanted to let them know, hey, it's possible. You got a young man whose parents, were crossed off the list, and I'm able to make it. I'm sitting here, I'm still having to realize and say how much a blessing it's. I'm a young Black man in the inner city of Syracuse with a boxing business. Like, that's unheard of, to have your own gym at under the age of 40, to have his own gym and to not have to rely on others. Now, granted, I will say shout out to Community Foundation for helping me to get a grant. Shout out to my physical sponsors.
Are you a Black Equity Fund person?
Yes, yeah, I'm excited. I didn't think I was going to get it. I didn't think I was going to get it.
Yes. I got to tell Katrina we hooked you up.
Thank you. Listen, well, thank you so much, because that grant helped propel things to a whole nother level. I was sitting here worrying, during COVID, man, I'm gonna get mats, I'm gonna get bags, and that grant came through, and I was like, okay, boom. The only killer with that is, once that grant came through, the gym was on, kids flooded. I went from 20 kids to almost, like I said, to almost 70 in weeks, and it's like, scary, but I'm happy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Curtis, thank you for telling your story. And what do you want to say about your adoptive family?
I love my adopted family. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now. Everything that I've been through, every lesson, every journey, every bump of the road has led me to where I am now. And this is only just the beginning. I still have lots of room to grow. But like I said, before I leave this earth, my city will have transformed. I believe, like I said, it's 150,000 people in Syracuse. That's a city small enough to get some change done. And hopefully we change here, and it creates a domino effect for other cities.
You're so committed to the community, and we need people like you who are committed passionately, right? Like you
Yes,
are
sir.
like
Yep.
you're all in.
All in.
Option zero, right?
Exactly. That's no other option. It is it. That's it.
So now, Curtis, do you have like a senior citizens class, man?
Actually, well, so listen, now we're not going to sit here in front like you're not the man who used to show me up in H2 Fitness. Shout out to JT. Now, we're going to stop that right now. I used to watch you in class and be like, man, I hope I can still move. I hope I can still do it. So we have an adult class. I think you'd love it. Is it like JT's? I don't think so. JT's class, I love it. I wish he'd come back out. Hopefully he's listening and understanding that community needs him. The people need him. Women are coming, hey, coach, are you doing this? Coach, are you doing that? Listen, I don't offer that. Listen, but, I'm excited. But listen, if you ever want to come down, Mr. Kilpatrick, you can come down to the gym. We can train. I think you'll outdo most of the people in my class, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well, listen, we wanted to just big you up. I see what you're doing in the community.
Yes,
and
sir.
I also know that we have to encourage one another. And in some ways, there's a next generation of leadership, right?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes we're ready for it, sometimes we're not, right?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
in all of it, we have to lead. When you say when it's put in front of you, you just have to do it,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
And
sir.
and unity is also part of that. And
Yes, sir.
sometimes there's bumps along the road with that, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
anyway, Curtis, we want to wish you good luck
Yes, sir.
in the community. Keep doing the good work.
Thank you.
And we want to let people know where's Option Zero, where they can find out more information.
Option Zero is at 1415 West Genesee Street in the basement of New Times Magazine, across the street from Harrison Bakery and next door to SAS.
So you can train, and you can go. If you go to the bakery, you can
No.
no, you can't try to go to the bakery.
You gotta go to the bakery first, then come train. Because if I catch you with a donut, I'm gonna eat it. I'm just telling you that now.
That's all right. All right, listen, Curtis Chaplin, good luck to you. George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. Option Zero, is that what's the website? Is it Option Zero?
OptionZero.net.
Option Zero is
Yes, sir.
.net, Inspiration for the Nation.